Yeah, that's enough of that. How are you doing? I'm here with Davey today from La Belle Province. Bienvenue. How are you? Bonjour.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm worried about Canada, Dave.
Oh yeah.
I really am. The older I get, the more worried I am. You know, it's not like when I was a kid and Bill Clinton was in charge of the states. Now it's totally different. So we're going to talk a little bit about Canada today, but let's start off with Donald down in the states. So a Fox News report said Donald told Justin Trudeau that if Trump's tariffs destroyed Canada and the country could not survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then Canada should become the United States 51st straight 51st state with Trudeau serving as its governor. Now, I don't know about you, but Puerto Rico is really mad at this because
Yeah.
they've been waiting a long time.
Yeah. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
So, do you want to become the 51st state?
Oh man. I mean it would mean we wouldn't have like the royalty on our money anymore, so that would be a good thing. That would be a good thing to start with. But no, no, I think there's different ways we can fight for republicanism in Canada with and that's without a Republican president and without the United States. You know, like
I agree with you. Bernie Sanders is all in favor of it. He says as long as we get Canada's health care.
no, they don't want our health care.
I know. I know.
No,
Isn't that the truth?
they should have single payer health care, but no, they don't want it like we have it.
Yeah, yeah. And that United Healthcare guy got shot down in the States.
Hmm.
And part of the thing was he was, I guess the United States Senate, don't quote me, was doing an investigation on antitrust. And he hid that fact from his investors into United Health. And him and a whole bunch of people from that company cashed in their stocks,
Oh, I didn't know that part, but yeah, no,
millions.
that's a really messy situation. It looks extremely targeted from everything we've seen come out, right? It definitely wasn't a random kind of thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I mean, we can speculate and stuff, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all we could
I'm
do.
kind of I am kind of excited to see what comes of this, right?
Right.
And I I don't think it's going to change the minds of other healthcare CEOs and stuff like that. You know, of other insurance company CEOs and
Oh, I
stuff.
hear you on that. Yeah. Well, the worst quote, worst or best quote is somebody said, "I hope that guy's looking up at us." So, no, that's just terrible. Canada, Justin. So there's going to be here. Let me bring up the political parties of Canada. I got two screens here. Let me bring this one up first. So we're in for a heck of a ride next year, I think. With we're going to have the we are also going to have an election up here in Canada. I don't know if you could see that. Here's our registered political parties.
Hmm.
Right, this one here. This is a new one, Canada Future Party. They're basically centrists of the Liberals and Conservatives, if I remember. Don't quote me
Okay.
though. But we have quite a bit. Um, the Rhinoceros Party is going to run again, apparently.
Yeah, I'm happy
But
to see that actually.
whoops. But so here we go. We got the major parties right now. Justin Pierre, Mr. Blanchet, Yagmeet Singh, and we have the Green Party lady. Oh, what was her name?
Elizabeth May.
Yes, she's back. So I don't know if how many seats they're gonna get this year, if any,
Yeah, no,
or
she's
next
back with
year.
a vengeance too, pulling out the big book of parliamentary procedure. She's got her like egg timer going for debates and stuff like that. She's a force of nature.
I'd have a beer with her, I'll
I,
tell you.
I wouldn't vote for her. She certainly is a force of nature.
She is a force of nature, and you need people like that in Parliament, I think,
Absolutely.
you know. So whoever's gonna vote for her, well done. Well done. Get her in. Um, so okay, so just like in the States, I think part of it was economics there for their vote was, are you better than you were 4 years ago? In our case, it'll be 5 years ago. Um, I see. Oh, well, groceries are supposed to go up 3 to 5% next year, so it's an extra $800 on your household budget. So that's not going to make you feel good. However, aren't we supposed to have a GST free period?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were able to pass that
Hmm.
uh, this week. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, there's a lot of debate on that. It would be good for consumers over a short period of time, but yeah, I don't think it's going to make that too much of a difference
I
in
don't
the
think
long
so
run.
either.
No.
Yeah, no. That's when you should buy a house, but the house won't be that anyways. So, um, I had a couple of talking points here. Sorry, I'm just looking. I think the biggest thing. So I work with guys up north, or
Hmm.
I did till we had an accident up north, so the whole plant shut down. Um, People who should be voting for liberals, like young guys and stuff, and young workers, they absolutely despise Justin right now.
Yeah.
It's a personal dislike to him, and I think he's on an uphill climb here to even get a minority government next time.
Oh yeah, no, it's the polling numbers aren't looking good. They're going to be blown out of the water. They're going to it's going to look a lot like that that Ontario election a number of years
Yeah.
back when the Kathleen Wynne Liberals got blown out of the water, and there were jokes that you could fit the entire Ontario Liberal Party into a minivan, right? That's how many members they had.
Yeah.
This isn't unheard of for the Liberal Party. Justin Trudeau was part of a big comeback for the Liberal Party a number of years back. Back when Leighton slash Mulcair's NDP had the big orange wave and made up official opposition to Stephen Harper.
To this day, I think the NDP might have won with Mulcair if he didn't smile as weird as he did.
Oh God,
My
yeah.
my wife said, I like what he says, but I don't like how he
I
looks.
don't
So
like that smile. I do not like that smile.
that
No,
was tense. Yeah, and
that
Yagmeet too. I live up in a town that's all NDP.
yeah.
I don't hear much good about Yagmeet either. He's lost the track, I think.
Well, and he has lost a lot of those young blue collar workers for the party as well. Because back in the Jack Layton days, there were a lot of like young male blue collar workers who were very pro NDP.
Oh yeah.
Um, but this kind of speaks to like the NGOification of the NDP, right? Where once it was that they were really looking at trying to help a lot of like the trade unions and stuff, and that's kind of transitioned into being more friendly, like having closer relationships with a lot more of the like the professional unions instead. You look at people like PSAC, the Public Service Alliance of Canada, and how tightly they're tied to NGOs. You look no further than the Broadbent Institute, right? And it's all just talking. The entire board's made up of like talking heads and former talking heads from NGOs, right? NGOs do good work, but th- they've really lost like the working class aspect to the party and
Mhm.
gone all in on middle class progressives in cities and lost the rural votes and lost blue collar votes, and you really see what this is doing to the party, right?
Yeah. They're kind of like the Democrats down in the States where they
Hmm.
lost their working class.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
that's
Yeah, the liberals still at least can maintain some of the blue collar unions with people like Unifor, but yeah, the NDP's completely lost it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And then we go. So the swing seems to be over to Pierre now, the Conservative Party.
Hmm.
So that's not my dad's Conservative Party by any means.
Oh, it's not.
These guys are right of the Reform Party, I think, or
Yeah, yeah.
you know, he's got some nuts in there. But
Peter MacKay is crying himself to sleep every night.
oh yeah, poor Peter MacKay.
He needs to dig some more potatoes at his in his dad's garden to make himself feel better.
Yeah, way to let down Canada, Peter. Way to let down. Yeah, I remember when the Conservative and the Reform Party got together, and thank you, Peter MacKay, for that.
Hmm.
You know, um, guy was elected to be Conservative leader, and he screwed it all away. You know, so thanks again, Peter. Um, so the main issue up in my neck of the woods, and I'm thinking maybe in yours, because Quebec has put moratorium on international students
Hmm.
being able to be there. I swear, if the Bloc Québécois was across Canada, I would vote for them.
Well,
They
ha,
have some good leadership there.
have you looked at what the polling's like currently in Quebec?
No, I haven't. Tell me,
It's going all block, baby.
all Bloc.
And provincially, the polling is showing that it's going all PQ.
Oh my,
Hmm.
is Liberals are losing quite a bit then?
Yeah, the liberals are only going to maintain like a few anglophone strongholds in places like Gatineau and like where I am. I'm not all
Right.
Gatineau. There's some Gatineau that's going strictly block, but there are
Will
some
the
anglophone
NDP pick up
strongholds.
any?
I doubt it. I doubt it. The NDP has had seats here in my riding. I We formerly had Nicole Turmel, former
Mm,
PSAC president, and after Jack Layton stepped down, she was like the kind of placeholder party leader
mhm.
for a short stint, but not since the Orange Wave have we had a dipper in here. So
Oh,
it looks like it's going to go liberal, but with with a block NDP and liberal vote split, we could easily see a conservative come in here as well.
right.
So that's one thing that liberals will have to be careful about with some of their Quebec seats, in my opinion,
Hmm.
is is a three-way vote split with NDP, liberals, and bloc that could work to the conservatives' favor. But
Right. Would it?
other than those small anglophone pockets, for the most part,
Right.
we're gonna see block the block come in. Hey,
Wow.
we could potentially see Prime Minister Blanchette if the vote is split enough in the rest of the country. So
Well, so once again, Ontario has to come to the rescue.
I certainly
Um,
hope not.
I
I
know.
say that as a
I,
proud Quebecer.
right. Would he, well, to be Prime Minister of Canada too, Blanchette would have to pledge allegiance to the King.
I mean, he does. I think he does to be an MP as well. So
Okay. Well,
yeah,
besides him
they're
wanting to,
crossing their fingers behind their back. You know, they're doing it right.
well, I tell you though, even the last guy that the Bloc had, the way they talk about the people's needs and the way to work, I mean, it was just like a breath of fresh air. The NDP could take a lesson out of the page of the Bloc Québécois.
Absolutely, because the NDP are doing the same things that the liberals are doing. Everyone's afraid to say working class these days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, Everyone's just saying middle class this, middle class that, but like no one's really talking about the working class. And unfortunately, Pierre Poilievre has been one of the best people saying that in English, right?
You're right.
He says it really awkwardly, really badly, but he's still doing it, right?
Right,
And
but at
people
the
hear it.
same, yeah, at the same time, he's going to these rallies and saying that. immigrants are welcome here in Canada, which they always have been
Mhm.
and stuff. So I really don't know where he lands on the political spectrum with immigration and with jobs. So
I don't think anyone's really going to cut immigration too much. Like our birth rates are still so low that we are going to
well,
have to rely on immigration
if
to just maintain economic growth.
right,
Um, Maybe not at the same levels as have been coming in over the last 5-10 years, but
right.
I don't think immigrations are going to dip below something that we've seen in the 2000s and
Well, even
90s.
even Justin's saying about a curtailment on immigration now, trying to save his because that is a big issue. It's a big issue, especially in Brampton and Burnaby. And uh, uh, the the Sikhs and the Punjabis are fighting with each other now. In Toronto, they had a big dust up. In Edmonton, we've had Sikh temples burn, and part of it is an extortion racket. CTV was saying
Oh,
how how uh, people from India want people here to send them money. If not, your house or your temples get burnt.
well, I don't know too much about that myself. I haven't been following that too closely, but I do. What I do know is that those tensions have been there for many years. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's nothing too new, but yeah, maybe I think people might be paying attention to it a little bit more these days,
Hmm.
just with some of the foreign interference stuff that's been coming up in the news.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. Even news about Russians again interfering. Do you think that's a legit thing
Absolutely,
or yeah?
absolutely. But yeah, there's the this goes all the way back to it was the Soviet government before, and it's the Russian Federation now. But this
Hmm.
kind of thing goes all the way back to the Guzenko affair in the 1950s, I believe, in Ottawa. It's basically what some people call the start of the Cold War. Started here in Canada, in Ottawa, Ontario, nation's capital, with a defecting Russian spy. So like these things have been like large powers are always going to be spying on each other.
Oh yeah,
Like to say otherwise is ridiculous, right? You know, the U.S. is spying on Canada, uh, Russia's spying on everybody, India's spying on everybody, China's spying on about everybody. We're spying on them.
that's right. Yeah,
And
uh,
to say
and
we aren't is ridiculous, right?
and we've got a couple of MPs who are under investigation for Chinese influence right now, and
Hmm.
apparently the Liberals won't give the names to
Um,
these people, or
I don't think we know how involved it is. We don't
yeah,
know we don't know any specifics. These people might be like unknowing participants in
that's a good
espionage,
way to
right?
put it. Yeah, yeah.
That can happen, right? And
Mhm.
actually, like I was saying before, talking about the Guzenko affair, there's a great book by an author called Amy Knight. It's called How the Cold War Began.
Okay.
And through that book, you'll see that there were a lot of people who were helping Russian spies who had no idea that that's what they were doing, right? You know, they thought they were just talking to a cool guy or something like that.
Yeah.
This stuff happens, right? Or you know, people's phones are tapped, things like that, or people have information extracted from them at community events.
Mhm.
But you know, yeah, we're seeing the same thing with Michelle Rempel Garner and stuff coming up
Yeah.
with presumed Indian foreign interference. That was specifically in the Ontario elections, I believe. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you know, they technically can't tell us exactly what's going on because this is all stuff that's like RCMP, like under like RCMP investigation, right?
Investigation. Yeah.
Right, which Trudeau legally can't name
Right.
name these names without putting people's lives in danger, probably, right?
Right.
You see that all the time because you know releasing that information might then lead to like the people, the names of the people who are investigating them, stuff like that. So you can't like it's sensitive information.
Oh, it is.
And
It
that's
is.
why people have been screaming bloody murder for Pierre Poilievre to get his security clearance, right?
Right. And why? What's up with that? How come he won't get his
Oh,
security clearance?
I don't know. He's saying so he because if he does know the names, then he can't like throw around accusations anymore. He's saying it'll gag him, which true, yeah. Of course, you won't be able to release the names and stuff, but he
Right.
would be able to make appropriate changes within his party and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. There's some speculation that it might be because he's compromised himself, because some very close friends and cabinet ministers of his might be compromised, because
And all
I've
speculative.
yeah, extremely speculative. Like I'm not
But
believing anything until I see
yeah.
proof on this stuff, right? But I've even seen people speculating that that it might be because of some of the dealings of his wife and his wife's family. For anyone not in the know, they're originally from Venezuela. She came here, I believe, as a refugee to Montreal.
Right.
But yeah, so we don't know. We don't know, and he doesn't. He allegedly doesn't know either.
Well, so he's got that in common with Trump, a wife who was a refugee,
I guess so.
or sorry, immigrant, immigration person. Yeah. Um, well, Pierre, yeah, I'm going to suggest he has an inside lane here right now, and some of the stuff he says is a little crazy, but it feeds to his base,
Exactly.
and it's raw meat for the masses. And I suspect the Canadian people are a little ticked off, and they're not as well as they
Absolutely.
were, and that's going to mean a change come election day.
Yeah, like a- absolutely. Like people are mad. He's kind of
Mhm.
tapping into that anger, and yeah, he's lying about stuff all the time. But like, how do I put this? Sorry, I kind of lost my thought here a
Oh,
little bit.
that's okay.
But
Yeah.
but not everyone's like reading everything about what's going on in Parliament every day. Not everyone's like
Right.
super like civic minded in the sense that they understand the civics of our country and stuff like that, and how our systems work. I've seen a lot of his stuff where people are like mad about like healthcare and hospitals and roads and stuff, and he's putting up videos of these people who he's talking to are mad about all these things, and well,
Hmm.
those are provincial issues and municipal issues.
Right.
I feel like I've seen other people like make these comments about this ad nauseum, but yeah, he's able to tap into this kind of generalized anger that people are mad at pretty much all levels of government. No one's coming through for Canadians right now.
That's right. Yeah. And especially in Europe, you can see that changing too, as well. And in the States, people are just mad and upset, and
Yeah.
they just want to, I won't say burn the house down, but they want to change.
Yeah,
Um,
you've been seeing this come out of a lot of rural areas too, right? There's been a
yeah.
lot of rural decline in Europe and Canada. Like this kind of goes back to the Gilets jaunes and the Yellow Vest movement in France as well, right? Where you saw like all the angry farmers
Hmm.
mad about that was it was a fuel tax, right?
Right.
Kind of mad, kind of the same thing that some farmers are mad. I think farmers are excluded from the carbon tax in Canada, though. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, rural people feel abandoned in the country. And
Well, farmers do get subsidized fuel. So,
yeah, so uh, thank you. You know better than I do.
yeah.
This little poor suburban boy me doesn't know anything about farming.
I got
Uh,
farms all around me, buddy. don't
but
don't put purple gas. Well, they tint it purple, for the
okay.
farmer gas. And the place I used to work with, the RCMP, used to come in and open everybody's gas tank and
Ah,
test to make sure you're not running it on your private vehicle.
yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. A couple of guys got caught. So
Yeah, hey, in a pinch, right?
in a pinch, yeah, gotta go. That's right. Um, do you is there a way? So the Liberals, Justin says he's going to stay for the election, right?
Hmm.
And some of the Liberals were pandering for a leadership election as well. and I'm not so sure there's anybody in that party that would rise to the occasion. But is there a way for the Liberals to? What I would like to see, worst case scenario would be the Conservatives have a minority government.
That would probably be the best outcome, in my opinion. Um, where they're blocked constantly by
By
the
the Bloc
block by the
Québécois.
block. It will be a big block of the block blocking them. If
Right.
that does happen, and liberal stragglers and NDP, but it doesn't.
Mhm.
I, looking at the polling now, I'm not super convinced that it's going to be a minority government,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. No, that's right. So, say about, I don't know when it's going to be, 6, 7 months, anyways, before we have an election, right? Maybe
Could
in the
be
fall of next year.
could be over Christmas. We got a confidence vote coming into the House tomorrow.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Canada.
That's going to be a big day for Parliament tomorrow. I don't know when this is coming out, but for December 6th is going to be a big day, I believe. If I have my dates right. Uh,
I think you're right.
Speaker of the House, Greg Fergus, kind of cut through the deadlock that we've had in Parliament since September over the whole Randy business.
Yeah.
Not the Randy business that Garnet Genuine was on about, or Garnet Genus was on about. This is a different Randy business, but
Is it Bissonnette?
yeah.
Yeah.
But Greg Fergus cut through that, so he's putting all that stuff on pause and allowing the Conservatives and the NDP to bring up motions and get parliamentary business back on the go. And we're going to be getting from the Conservatives, I believe, a confidence vote on the current
Mhm.
government.
But I think the NDP have said that they're not going to vote in favor of a no confidence vote.
It wouldn't be in their best interest,
No.
honestly.
Do
It
you
would
do you think them tying themselves so close to the Liberals hurt them?
absolutely.
You know, because they did a handshake deal to support the Liberal minority government, and
Absolutely. I've never voted Liberal. I've only ever voted NDP in my life. And next election, I'm not going to be voting NDP. I'm going to be an Anglophone that's probably going to be voting for the Bloc. Believe it or not, because I want to punish them. And that's what a lot of time why we vote Bloc in Quebec is because we're trying to punish the
punish them.
Liberals. But I'm trying to punish the NDP too because I'm extremely unhappy about how they've managed the whole Palestine issue with the ruling Liberal Party, right?
Is
I
there
feel
a,
I feel like they could have pushed a lot harder
right? Is there any
to
talk about Max Bernier and the People's Party up in
no
your neck of the
I
woods? No.
there is here and there, but no, nothing that would you know
I hear the
be of
odd
any
comment up
substance.
here,
Yeah,
but we're a special breed up here in Alberta, so
I think the PPC was getting a lot more traction during the pandemic.
yeah, no, that's true. You got hopes for Canada, or are we screwed for a while, or?
Hey, I'm voting Bloc. I'm trying to get the hell out of here.
I got a friend in Vietnam right now. As soon as he retires, he says he's moving there. So
Nice.
yeah, right now he does 6 months here, 6 months there,
Oh,
and
hell
he's going to
yeah.
live there full time if he can, right? So
I could go for a Vietnamese sandwich right now.
it's about 30 above right there. I just talked to him the other day, right? And
Uh,
we
that,
were minus 22,
yeah.
and that's quite the swing.
Yeah, I just got slush weather here. Like I said,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was going
like
to
I said,
ask
I
you
was shoveling wet snow today. So
that snowstorm that came out over the this last week. Did it get you guys too?
barely.
Barely, eh?
We got maybe 5, maybe 10 centimeters, and
Right.
it was above zero today. So a lot of it melted, which is why I made sure to shovel so I don't have ice in my driveway tomorrow morning.
Okay. I don't. Well, we should get together again soon and talk some more about Canada because I think it's an issue I don't see out on YouTube and stuff. And we need to talk more about Canada. We're not going to fix the country. We can just point out the problems.
No,
But
we
your
can't fix the problem. We
generation,
can't.
don't let my generation screw it up. Your generation should fix the problem. There you go.
When are you running for office, Walter?
Oh, no, I'm too old now.
No, you're
I don't
not.
need the retirement benefits from, oh, maybe I do. That would be good.
How old was
6 years and I could retire from the government.
How old is Joe Biden? Let me ask you that. You're old enough. You're young enough.
Well, that's, the last time he ran, Bernie would have been better as far as I'm saying. Hey,
Absolutely.
and I'm a guy from out here in Alberta who has voted conservative. They used to be progressive conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And there was very little difference between them and the Liberals at one time.
Yeah,
except for
it's not Daniel Smith's. It wasn't Daniel Smith's Conservative Party, that's for sure.
That's correct. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's
scary. It's scary, man.
Yeah. If I could talk in public, maybe I would run. No, I can't. I'm too old to run now. I'm too tired. I can only support your generation now, Dave.
Yeah,
that's all I can do. I'll give you guys bucks. What do you need? I'll go get my pop bottles together and go cash them in.
Yeah. No, I'm not fully convinced about electoral politics being able to make too much of a change myself, right? I think we got to be out on the streets, right? We got to show them we mean business, not just at the ballot box. We got to be organizing unions. We got to be organizing, large community groups, and we got to take it back for
seniors,
ourselves.
As well.
Absolutely.
Big vote.
Everybody. That's what I'm saying. We got to organize the community. Not just young people. Not just university students. We got to really come together as communities and to make a change.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. I could see us having a Block Alberta party one time. I wouldn't doubt it. The way things are going. So, Dave, thank you so much. We'll have to get together soon and talk some more if you don't mind. And I hope you're keeping well.
Yeah, you too.
All right. You take care, man.
You too.
There we go.
Right on.
Hey, Dave, thanks. Half an hour. That's about perfect. I find.